All right, welcome back to my studio. I'm Electronin, and in this series, what I'm doing is working through creating an album in the month for the RPM challenge. This is the month of February, and I'm down to the wire here. We only have a few days left, about a week, and it's time to get moving on this album. And so along the way, I've been testing Ableton's Move, which you can see here, and just testing it to see how well it would work as a pre-production device as Ableton sells it. And so I've created several projects on the Move and then some projects on some other places. In fact, what I've done, I've actually created this spreadsheet right here where I'm keeping track of all my projects. Actually, this should be 09. Correct that. And so I've created 9 projects so far, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them have been on the Move. One was on the Roland SH4D, and one I created on Logic Pro on an iPad Mini. And all of these are eventually going to be, mixed and put together in this album. And I'm at the point where, okay, I need to start developing these songs into full-length songs. And so my goal today is to start taking them one by one and developing them into full-length songs rather than just scratch pad ideas. And so by full length, what I mean is that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's interesting development, and the piece is long enough to hold interest, but no longer, long enough to be interesting or long enough to be substantial or to explore its ideas, and short enough that it doesn't, extend past its interest. So these are my goals. And so, I have like 7 projects on the Move here. Now, one of the great things about the Move, and one of the things I was really excited about when it came out, was the fact that you can take any project on the Move and bring it into Ableton Live. Now, once you bring it into Ableton Live, it stays in Ableton Live. It doesn't transfer back to the Move. So that's why you want to do like, okay, I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, I've done my pre-production. Now it's time to move into more production. So what I can do here is take a quick stock of what I have on the Move, and I've disconnected it from the computer, and I'll show you why in a second here. But so here's the first project that I did. Some ambient lo-fi or rhythmic ambient, however you want to categorize that. Here's my second project. And then so that was kind of like an attempt at Berlin School. So I call this lo-fi. I don't know. I'm genre agnostic. It's lo-fi-ish. It's pretty up-tempo for lo-fi, so I don't know, maybe somebody out there has a better idea of like what I should classify that as. I don't particularly care. It's just I'm making a song, right? Let's see. So that's 1 through 3, and then 6 should be on here somewhere. Let's see which one's this. That's 7. So here we go. 8. 6 is this is 6. So it's another ambient track. And that's a little more ambient. Wow, there's a heck of a decay on that. Okay, and so 7, which I think I ran across, here? This is 7, so this is more like chill wave. Kind of. Again, genre agnostic. see, then we have, so 6, 7, and 8 was over here. So this is quasi synthwave. And then finally, I have 9, which is kind of like more down tempo. And that one was actually made by sampling the Roland S1. So all the synths that you hear in there were samples from the Roland S1 and then kind of manipulated inside the Move. Okay, so now I need to take these projects one by one on from the Move onto Ableton Live. And so I think what I'll do is I'll go back to the beginning and start with the first track I did. So what I've done here, if we go to my Finder, I've created a folder. I created 2 different folders. One for the overall album project that'll be the live files and maybe a Logic file or something like that. And then one for the Move files that I'm bringing in. So I can still kind of preserve them in their original state because I'll eventually delete them off the Move. So now the other thing you can do when you're, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this thing in so I can access the Move on my computer, because you can access it either via Wi-Fi or via just the cable. But this is what happens when I plug the cable in. That's a lovely sound if you can hear that. So there's a lot of USB noise, and you get this with like a lot of Roland devices too, like the SH4D or the IRA Compacts. And yeah, so that's kind of unfortunate. And what's interesting too is that if I actually go into a project, it changes. I think it might have something to do with the LEDs here on the pads. So anyway, it's kind of obnoxious, but now we're gonna kind of move away from the Move, and then kind of get into bringing the projects into Ableton Live. So I'm gonna mute the Move, and then we don't have to listen to that anymore. And then I'm going to go to my browser. And here I've hooked onto the Move, and what I want to do is I want to download this one, 2501 Ambi. That's my first one. So this is RPM, the record per month, 25, the year 25, 2025, and the first one, 01, and designation that this was a quasi-ambient piece. Okay, so we're going to download it, allow. It comes into my downloads folder here, and I'm going to come over here and go to my downloads folder. Once it's there, I'm going to drag that project here into my Ableton Move RPM 2025 folder. There it is. Now I can go over to Ableton and see. It's currently going through those folders, so I'm just going to hit open and Command O on the Mac. And then we're going to go into, music production files. That's where I keep all these things. And we go to Ableton Move sets, and then we go to 2025, and here's this bundle. This is the project, so we're going to open it up in Ableton. Don't save. Okay, and so here we have the 4 clips plus an extra clip here. Let's play it back. That is really present. I'm just going to drag this down here a little bit. Good. Well, here's my project. I've now got it inside Live. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to use the Move here as a controller for Ableton. So I'm going to go over to the Move and go over to our little like settings widget thing here. Come down to Control Live, and it says connect with USB-C. Yes, done. Maybe it needs to be convinced. Hopefully it'll be recognized. And then let's make sure we've got on live, so I'm going to go over here to the screen, make sure we've got it selected as a potential control device. So I've got a lot of things here, the Akai Advanced, which I actually no longer have, so I might as well bring that out and see none. Let's see if Move shows up here. Right there, down here at the bottom, Move. So we've got Move, and the input's going to be Ableton Move, say live port, and now put Ableton Move live port. There we go. And if I look over here on the desk, it's now recognized. It's recognizing the computer. So that's how you connect your Move to Ableton. Now let's go look at the Move now. And if I go over to here, now like this is where things get really weird because Ableton goes one way on the Move. So this is a track, this is a track, this is a track, this is a track, and the track here you got clips that go on your track this way. So all these clips here belong to this track. And that's the way it works in the Move because you only get 4 tracks, and so you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clips per track per project. But when you switch it into live mode, all of a sudden these are tracks like you see in the live one. So here's my 4 tracks, and then here's another clip. Whoops. And these are the scene control buttons. So here we'll go to a different view here so you can see both at the same time. Here we go. Okay, so this will start by scene if I hit this button right here. Meanwhile, I think I should be able to go into any track. See if I do this. Oh, I know. There we go. So I just push this button. This is how you go from session mode into whatever track you selected. So if I selected this track, then I get... Again, these are the 4 tracks that I have right here. And this, let me see, let's hit stop on all these things. Then I'll just start this one. And then with this button here, I can stop the track. So again, hit the clip, and this button will stop the clip. Okay. So now I gotta start thinking about like, okay, what am I working with here? So maybe I'll solo an element just by playing the clip. Okay, that's not bad. I think what I want to do is add another MIDI track. So I'll pull this up and go to instruments, and let's see what we have here. Drums, hardware control rack, sampling sounds character, guitar, pluck lead, pad, piano keys, strings, guitar unplucked. Let me see. We get all these devices here. There's bright. Arpeggiated, that's interesting. Basic harp. Space arp. Ooh, I like that. Actually, that's pretty interesting. Okay, so now we have this instrument selected. So that's kind of interesting. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down and kind of start that as maybe my starting scene. So we'll bring that down. We definitely don't need these yet, so we'll bring these all the way down. And we'll put this one back up here. And whoops, hello. And this, of course, you can't do on the move itself. But now I can start the scene. I almost want to dark poly pad. So let's see what we got here. Low pass filter. I don't know if I can capture here, but I'll try. Okay, so we can go into the clip itself here just with the regular Ableton stuff. Oh my gosh, I forget how so much stuff they have right here. And that's kind of inspiring, that sound. Same thing with it. Phaser depth, filter resonance. So let's see the actual instrument itself here, the Pluck arp. Okay. Oh, okay, it's one of those. It's physical modeling, I think. Yeah, because of the exciter. Okay, so for what I want to do here, I may want to actually use an audio effect. So I'm going to throw an auto filter on it at the end of the chain over here. Okay, that sounds a little bit better. You know, I haven't done a lot of work in Logic 12. I just, upgraded 12 not too long ago, but I haven't done a lot of work inside of it. So let's see, how do I get my sends? Well, I feel like it should be here, and it's not. Somebody moved my cheese. Somebody moved where I was expecting to find something. Okay. I'm sure many of you may have had more experience in full height browser. Yep. I am baffled as to how I reveal, say, like the reverb. Actually, I think the send is actually in here. Tell you what, I'm just going to create a new send. In fact, maybe that's what there is. There's no sends. Insert audio track, insert return track. Yep, there's no return. So that's why I saw no sends. There's no return track. Okay, good. And then for this, I'm going to go to something special. Now this is, now that we're outside of Ableton Move, I can use third-party plugins. So I'm going to go over here to my Eventide plugin, and I'm going to go for their Shimmerverb, the AU plugin. And go to that dark polypad, and we're going to increase the send here. We're going to turn off its reverb. Let's try that, and increase the send here to the Shimmerverb. Same thing here. And we'll take like a lo-fi approach. And so I'm going to come over here and go to our little drum kit here. Oh, except I got to make sure I've got the drum kit selected to record. Here we go. And if I hit record, do I have a count in? Let's put on the metronome and we'll get a 1-bar count in. There we go. Is that enabled? That there's a little weak sauce. Okay, so I think what I want to do here is I'm just going to go over to my clip, which I have right here. Bring that up, and there's my hits. I'm going to bring them up here. One more. I'm going to do this. I'm going to kind of zoom in on it. Okay. I'm going to delete that. Let's see where our Quantize settings are at. Oh, that's interesting. What happened to... Why can't I see the Quantize settings? Quantize settings. It should pop up here as... Let me see if it's not over here. And pop up on that screen back there. So that's interesting. Or does it pop up over here? Adjust note, transfer, quantize. Oh, I see. I'm expecting a pop-up menu, and it's now moved to the side menu here. So bring it about 75%. And then we're going to quantize. Let's Command U. I'll get used to that. And we're going to reverse the velocities on these things. So that first velocity was pretty low and it got louder. I'm going to go gut, gut. And I don't want to be actually too loud, so I'm going to bring both of them kind of down. And see what that sounds like here. And it seems to want to start from the beginning every single time. Why? What is forcing it back to the beginning? Oh, all these questions, Ableton. What did you do? Okay. Our manual parameter. This is traveling. Okay. In fact, maybe I just solo this part and go to... Okay, there's an easy solution here. I'm just going to move the start point all the way to this last bar. Right. Okay. And what I'll probably do is I'm going to shorten this loop to 4 bars, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this top scene here. Okay, and I'm going to insert a scene. In fact, I'm going to duplicate the scene. Just duplicate. Come down. Here's my copy. Get rid of this here. And then add a third voice over here, so another MIDI track. Now, I'm trying to think, what was I hearing in my head? And we'll get rid of the metronome here and the counting. And we'll unsolo. So... fade in on that might be nice too in the final mix. Yep, I want to lead there. So let me check this out and see what it sounds like. Nope, I think I want more of a synth lead, so we'll go to MIDI track. And this time, it might be unnecessarily processor expensive, but in fact, we just already created one. Let's go over this one. And I'm going to go over to my plugins, and this time I'm going to go over to Arturia. And the reason I say processor expensive is I'm going to use Analog Lab 5. Analog Lab, you know, it's everything but the kitchen sink, or everything and the kitchen sink. So sometimes it tends to be a little bit overkill, but then again, it gives you access to a wider variety of synths, like everything I have in the V-Synth collection. So, and I was a little bit nervous about how long that was taking to come up, so I'm going to go over here and save live set as, and this is where we're going to go to another folder here, music production. Go to my Ableton Live projects. If I go down here, here's RPM 2025, and I'm going to call this 2501. Sure, ambient, that'll work. You know we're in the same track. Eventually the song will get a name, but... Okay. Classic Juno keys. Okay. So I want to get some kind of a lead but I want that lead to be soft, yeah. Now that's really nice because wow. So that's that lead is polyphonic aftertouch sensitive, or either MPE or polyphonic aftertouch. And since the Move has polyphonic aftertouch pads, I'm able to control parts of the lead. So that's really kind of cool. Let's get back to where we're at here. Although I don't necessarily like the sound. Let's take the. I definitely don't like the. Gosh, what do I have here? Brightness, timbre, time. Bring the overall brightness down on this thing. Try that in the mix. It's in the right direction. It's not quite there. That's crazy. Okay, so here I have one note, and if I add pressure, it goes up a half step. It's like either pitch bends or just... You create these little half step trills. Oh my gosh, all kinds of interesting things here. I don't want a pluck square. I want, in fact, let's go to types. We'll go to lead, and I want to go for soft lead. There we go. A lot of these tend to be over the top for me. At least... This is Solina. That's interesting. Let's see if I can edit the preset itself. That's the effects. Let's see. Part 1, part 2. It might be because the Solina is paraphonic, so you get that nice slow attack, and that's because there's an envelope on here somewhere. Let's see. LFO master section effects. Yeah, right after that. No, so yeah, so it's paraphonic with this master ADSR, but there is an AR per key on the Solina. So how do I access this? There should be some way for me to access the AR. I don't even see an ADSR on here. Or maybe, okay, I say Solina, but you know what I'm really referring to actually is the ARP. What was that one? The ARP keyboard that kind of copied the Solina. Let's go to advanced. Oh, that is advanced. Okay. Let's see. Nope, not giving me access there. Yep. What do I want to spend all day? Man, I like the timbre. I just don't like that attack. I don't like that harsh and that hard attack that comes in there. Okay, well, moving on. Let's go back, There we go. We'll check something else out. See, filter lead. By the way, this is something that Ableton, like, by limiting you to 4 tracks and whatever they give you on the move, they focus you so you don't get lost in the weeds like I'm doing right now, trying to find something that's like, okay, that'll work. Smoothly, let's go back this way. The only thing I don't like is the fact it's just that initial hit. Try that down a couple of octaves. Too much repeat. I don't want to lose. Okay, now that has more of what I'm looking for, that little theremin sound. So let's try that in context with a track. Now maybe we'll eventually take the delay away from the synth itself. It's kind of built into the patch. What I will do is go into this patch and here's the reverb volume master. Go to the preset. Delay and verb. Okay, why am I still getting delay and reverb though? That's one of the questions. Let's go to the advanced. Might be right here. There we go. Now I can give it my own verb here, send it over to that. And then do I have send reverb? Okay. I'm liking that. Good. So I captured that, which is cool. And let's put it back up here in line with this one. And we go back here and listen to this. I think I will put some of its original reverb back in because I think that might blend well. It's kind of weird to stack reverbs, but I don't typically like stacking a lot of reverbs. And I'll even put in the tape echo too to see how everything sounds. And then we'll go over here and we'll expand this loop all the way to 8 bars. And then we'll also do the same thing here. We're going to expand this loop all the way to 8 bars. Good. And now what I want is a little bit less of this. I'm going to shorten these because there's a lot of reverb or something on it in the scene. If not, we can add it too. But I want them to decay more, so I'm going to bring them down and back, just like that. And we'll try that out. In fact, what I think I'll do is I'll just record another part here. Okay, so I'll come over here, and let's make sure we actually have the metronome, and we'll make this none, count in 1 bar, and sorry, what does the wood sound like? Oh, that's really obnoxious. Let's hear the click. Hate that too. Classic. Good. Enable only while recording. Okay, and we'll do the 1 bar count in. So make sure I have it selected and make sure I go in here. Okay. Change that later. Didn't like that one. Good. And that'll bring us into the next part down here. So we're definitely going to keep this pad going here. And maybe this, because that left a lot of space. And maybe we'll try bringing this in over here. Actually, no, let's save that. bring that here. So. Whoops. Yep, I like that. And then bring this down here. Whoops, hello. Undo that. Bring that down there. Bring this down here. And bring this down here. And maybe, actually that's just gonna interfere too much. So I'm liking the vibe so far. It's pretty chill. Come back up here to the main. This one didn't play. I think I might need more in that drum intro just for how long this is shaping out to be. Okay, so what I've decided I'm going to do is work on that bass. I think that bass has just got 4 bars that it's repeating. So crazy. Where are we looking at this thing? Is it, yeah, is it this one? This clip right here? No, it's this clip up here. Okay, since these are the same, that's kind of good news. I'm going to drag this one down here and save that for later, because that's not bad. But it's not what I want at the moment. Okay. You know, if you tame some of those highs and all that, it might sound kind of nice. Let's see. Play again here. Whoops, make sure we're on track. Next, MIDI generator. Oh, this is kind of interesting. I love generative stuff, so let's see what we got here. Shape. Yeah, it gets crazy. Look at that. Nope. And eventually what I want to do is get into some probability here. So I should probably, in fact, let's just do that now. Let's take a pluck and we'll get maybe even here. And we're going to put in some kind of pluck device. So we'll just go over to Ableton's instruments. Here, pluck, miscellaneous plucked. Arpeggiate. Let's check out the arpeggiated part. And devices. How about synth plucked? Yeah, we'll do synth pluck. Soft, spacious. Oof, that's startling. Okay. Maybe not spacious. How about soft? Tension would be either. How about basic? I don't want to do collision. It's more processor expensive. Good. Let's maybe turn off the arpeggio on this one because I like the sound. Let's try this one. So arpeggio control here. Arp rate. Filter. Let's go in here. Huh. Well, what do you know? I went back to the same thing I had before. And we'll bring this out. And somewhere here's our arpeggiator. So we're going to just... Oh, that's tied. Right, there's no way to turn this off here because... I'm just going to delete it. Okay, let's try recording this one here. We'll go to the main. It looks like it already has recorded something. Okay, so it's just anticipating something. In fact, I think what we can do now is we can actually sequence here. Velocity, randomize. Okay, so what else we can do here? So that's just for velocity. Chance, that's what I want. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, duplicate this. Sorry, I forgot to go to the screen, my bad. So I'm going to duplicate the scene I have here, down, delete this from the first part. Now we get this. And now with all that going on, I'm going to duplicate this here. And then I'm going to take right here. Okay, I'm going to take this dark poly pad and I'm going to duplicate this, change the pad on it. So let's see, the voice we have here, let's go away from guitars and plucks and we'll go over to pads. Sure. Put this in over here. Delete this. Delete that. This is where the drone. Nope. Delete that one too, I believe. try this one. Okay, so let's hear that back in the mix. Now solo that again. And this time what I'm going to do, enable the filter. No, I don't want to decay too much. And then there's a delay here. Which we can control actually over here. Where'd it go? Pulse width? Looks like we can control the delay. Let's see. Maybe not. It's tied to something here. Okay. It's interesting, just the sound of the Shimmerverb. Everything just going straight through the Shimmerverb. Well, with the exception of the drums, of course. So we definitely have a beginning. We have the beginning of a middle. Don't quite have an end. There's a beginning. want less of the lower frequencies here. Performance impact indicator too. This is processor performance. So this one's, you know, taking a bit. And this analog lab, of course, is taking a bit too. Processor expensive. But you know, the Mac Mini that I'm running this on handles this kind of stuff really well. It's got an M2 Pro processor, and it actually turns out with the M1 processors with Apple, and it looks like my video sync is a little bit off here. But with the M1 processors with Apple, that when you lower the latency on Ableton, you actually get better performance. Or lower the buffer on Ableton, you get better performance. Yeah, this has got 128 samples, so we're at 7%. Let's try going down to 64, see what happens. Kind of went up a bit. Still tends to perform. Let's see. Yeah, that reduced it. Okay. So if this is out of sync, my apologies. But yeah, that's a good place to stop today. I've made some good progress on this track, and yeah, just 9 more tracks to go and the rest of this track, and yeah, that's a bit of work, but we'll see where we get by the end of the month. That's the challenge. Okay, until next time.